supposed to be on recess duty since it was a third grade. I had third grade class, so we were supposed to be outside. And at the time, I think the recess was from 11:40 to 11:50 or whatever, and the shooting was about 11:43. Well, one of the kids lost his pencil that day, and normally, I mean, it's, you know, no big deal. You lose your pencil, okay, we'll find it later. And for some reason that day, I just felt like we better find this pencil. And I made all the kids get down. They're all scrambling around looking at the floor trying to find the pencil. Never was found. And finally, just before the bell rang, I said, okay, well, let's just go out. And at the time, I was in room 4, which was over there, and we exited on that sidewalk along the edge of the building there. So we started to go out, and I'm walking with the children, and they're just a little bit ahead of me, and all of a sudden I heard the sounds, which I didn't think was gunfire. I thought it was like a jackhammer, because I didn't know what it sounded like. But it did sound funny, and it was very loud. And then all of a sudden I saw Mr. Kronk, who was a teacher on yard duty, run across. He was running this way towards the cafeteria, so I could see his face and all the other kids' faces, and it just, I mean, it was a look of terror on his face. And he looked at me, and room 4 is like right over there. So he looked down the corridor at me with this look, and I just grabbed that first kid that I had, just like the scruff of his neck, and I just yanked him back and got all into the classroom and shut the door and got under our desks and waited for more information. But so we didn't go out. So that whole group of kids were not on the playground that day, which they would have been if it weren't for that silly little pencil. And we never found it, and I don't remember the boy's name that lost it, but the boy who took the pencil, and I don't remember his name either without looking back at pictures, he came back to talk to me a couple years ago, or yeah, about 2 years ago maybe, and told me he was the guy that took the pencil. I had no kids that got wounded. I had the son of the teacher that was on yard duty here that got wounded. Mrs. Gang, her son Michael was in my class. He didn't know for sure, but he seemed to have some sort of sense. He must have remembered that she had yard duty that week, and so I had to tell him, you know, that she was hurt and not to worry and try to calm him down. So, but he wanted to leave. I mean, he wanted to leave class and get out and go see her, but he couldn't. It was interesting just to think about, you know, the lady's son was in this room. You know, if he had gone outside, would he have been next to her, next to his mom at yard duty? You know, I don't know. It just makes you kind of think why they didn't go out that day, because they could have been one of those kids. So.